Welcome to Ecosphere Days Digital. My name is Felix. I work as a project manager in the Senshare Northwest Europe team, and I'm very pleased today to introduce one of our customers, Mathieu Guetteville. He's Directeur de l'Informatique Éditoriale at Reworld Media. Roughly that translates to Director of IT, Editorial. And he's based in France. So, hi Mathieu.
Hello Felix, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, and thank you for the invitation.
I'm very pleased to have you here today. So, just a few general questions at the beginning. Suppose I don't know Reworld Media at all. Can you describe it briefly to me?
Yes, Reworld Media is a leading digital media group. It was founded 10 years ago, and around 10 years ago, and we grow by acquisition a lot, specifically in the print industry, where you have some magazines that don't have a good visibility on the internet. They have good brands and very well known by readers, but and a good history, but little exposure on the web. And with the skills, the experience we have on the digital, we use this brand and give them visibility on internet, good visibility, and make strong brands with these magazines. And today we have about 47 brands, different brands.
Mm-hmm. So, and you are a very digital publisher, aren't you, at Reworld Media? I mean, for example, I have two of your titles, Auto Plus and Closer. I have them in my browser notifications, and I get quite a few notes.
There is a lot of articles every day. Yeah.
And can you name? Do you want to name some other titles? We named Closer.
Yes, we have Grazia on the web, was pretty important. We have Telestar.
TV magazine, right?
Yes, infotainment department is very important. And we have more small brands, more specific brands, but it's related to monthly magazine who have their audience, a good audience. So all these brands makes us present on all different aspects. And it's very important to have this position.
Yes. And the magazines, I suppose the audience is mostly a broad audience, or are there also special interest titles? And if so, which?
We have some special interest titles also, yes, about music.
Okay.
We have Diapason, for instance. And
what's that? Diapason? What
Diapason, yes, it's you can check the website. It's about classic music, essentially. So very specific. We have also Réponse Photo, which is about the hardware. When you have to buy a picture, I don't know how to say, a reflex.
A camera, or
camera, yeah.
Yes, that's, I know from friends that's a very extensive decision, isn't it, to buy a new camera?
Yes.
So if you want to buy a good one.
Yes, and there is a lot of information to make the good picture the artistic way and the technical way. Yep. So yes, we have this kind of magazines also.
Okay. So then we already said you are the director of the editorial IT. Can you describe that role a bit more, please?
Yes, I am in charge of a team which is dedicated to editorial teams. Our objective is to deploy software and process to all the editorial teams that help creativity and help, of course, productivity.
I see. Okay, thanks. And then the other question is one that I'm interested in. So how did you get into publishing?
Yes, on personal aspect, I went to publishing because in my family we have my parents were booksellers, and I had some uncles who were also in this sector, and I was mostly in computers. It was like a passion, and so I took these two ingredients, and I chose to make a school, to do a school about graphic industry. Mm-hmm. So it was the moment where the digital publishing was getting more and more important. The very beginning. So it was very interesting. And I had some internship also at Libération, which is a famous daily in France.
Yes, founded by Jean-Paul Sartre, the famous philosopher. So yes, very.
Yes, and I worked in the IT team, so I discovered all the aspects at this moment. And also I had an internship in England, in Oxford. It was a publisher of a scientific book, very specialized. And so it was very interesting. Yes, so I got into it this way.
Yes, that's also the reason why I was thinking that because I speak some French, I thought we could speak more French, but because English is really good, we speak English. All right. So what are the main issues that the publishing industry is facing at the moment? What do you think?
Of course, times are changing. We have a very short delay to produce content, and the competition with internet and social network is very tough. It's very fast, and we have to go fast, but not that fast, and we have to keep constant quality because a lot of people still trust our sources. So it's very important to keep in mind to keep this quality.
Yes, I think that's a key. That's like one of the key selling points, isn't it, for a magazine, that you have a trusted brand that people know, okay, this is...
Yes, and as you said before, we produce a lot of articles on the different websites. So we can't have the same quality on the print, but also we try to keep in mind that we have a minimum level of quality that we need to provide, because our brand need to be strong during times.
That's interesting that you say that. So basically, this big word that people are saying about digital first, you're already actually doing that. Digital is your first channel and print the second. Is that could you say that?
Yes, it can be different. If you look deeper, it depends of the brands. Sometimes it is print first, and we reuse the content very fast. And sometimes also it's in parallel, and so we have content, different content, because the reader are not really the same sometimes.
No.
The articles in the web can go on the print, but it's not always the case.
Okay, that's super interesting. Thanks. Okay. And where do you see the role of IT in the future of publishing?
A role is to provide the best tools, but also we need to show the way of different production process. Because people when they are creating the article, they don't have enough time to think of new way of working. They are always on the rush, and we can give them this kind of reflection. And sometimes also we come with more disruptive idea, like for instance structured article or automatic layout. So these are not at all intuitive for editorial teams, for an art director, for editor chief. It's not intuitive at all. So we have to show the way on this.
And make it as easy as possible for them, I guess, right?
Yes, and you know the difficulty of it.
Yeah, of course. Yes, but I understand exactly what you're saying. They have a different priority, and rightly so. Their priority is to produce content and to make that as seamless as possible, while still, as you say, getting a maximum efficiency. I think that's the art here, isn't it?
Yes. It is what we have in mind, and we try to show it with constant deployment and new features.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. What did you want to achieve with ZenShare? What was the scope of the solution at the beginning?
At the very first, we intend to renew our system, our production system, of course. And we also wanted to create a base platform that can host new project, new ideas.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to build a repository for all the content. So we call it Content Factory. So we put that in place. It is still the beginning for me, because we don't have enough content right now to make it very important for the process today. But it's growing up, and with the time it will get very, very interesting and powerful.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that word of seeing ZenShare as a content factory. That's
yes, very well. That's the goal.
Yeah. Okay. And why did you choose ZenShare?
We choose ZenShare because it is very efficient for that kind of task. It is fast. It is steady, even with a lot of requests. So with a pretty good interface, which is for the users is really, I think it is really modern, especially the web part. And also we don't see today lack of performance, so that's very good. That's very important for us. That's the first feature of the performance for me. Yeah.
I think at some point, we maybe at some other point we'll have to show some of the web client, because I think it looks really good for what the French team have done there at the implementation, the dashboard, and so on. Yeah.
Yes, and also yes, there is a good capacity of customization. We made a lot of customization.
Yeah. Okay. How does your work today differ? To what extent are you succeeding? I suppose that question is also, you can't probably answer it without mentioning the pandemic. So yeah, how does your work today differ, and how are you succeeding?
Yes, if we are talking about deployment, yes, it was. We had a lot of difficulties during the pandemics. No one was ready for that, even if we had some sort of technical solutions. But we were on the middle of the deployment, and we have seen very fast that we could continue our deployment during the pandemic. Because ZenShare is the web solution that can be deployed simply. Even the InDesign part, the plugin is pretty light to deploy. When you know how to do it, it's pretty easy, even remotely. Yeah. We had a good experience on this. And after the result, when you are on board, when the user are in the system, they can get rid of VPN because they have all their files in the system. So it's perfect when you work at home or somewhere in the country because you don't want to stay in the suburbs of Paris. So for this, the users they were very happy to move to SendShare. It removed a lot of difficulties.
That's great to hear.
And so, even without the pandemics, we saw that deployment was faster than the other system we had. People were used to this kind of system. That's a fact, but also there was a good adaptation of the users very fast. It was very fast. So
that's great.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. How many people, departments, locations use the SendShare product? You already said locations, probably now as many as there are people almost. But I think also internationally, what is their feedback?
We have 250 active users today, and it is still growing. We have a web user, print users, even advertising team who place ads on the flat plans. Yes, with different kind of people, they can be everywhere in France, or we have some people in England or other countries. It makes no difference at all, of course. Yes, they stick together. They keep the contact. Of course, they can do meeting online, but also they keep connected with the tool. That's very important, and they know where their files are, which status they are, and they get a visual with all the page, and they have also on the web part indicators that tells them how many very fast, how many articles they produce, etc., etc. So they have good visibility on the production of the day.
Yeah. So the feedback is, that sounds like you're getting positive feedback there from the users.
Yes. We have good feedback, and today we are also more mature, so we replicate all we have done in the beginning of the project. Mm-hmm. Now we have a good methodology, and we can apply it very quick. And today we are migrating smaller teams also, so we have the good experience with the big teams, so it's feeling easier.
Great. Okay. Who was involved during the implementation phase, and how long did it take, roughly?
In the very beginning, we worked with SendShare France. Mm-hmm. It was good to start with them because they gave us all the keys. But after, when we had more experience, it was easier to work directly with the different experts you have at SendShare. So we worked with India team directly, with Chandler, who's a very good project manager for us, our main contact. Mm-hmm. And also Shale, who works with him. So we have a weekly meeting that are very interesting, very productive, and very good spirit also. So it's a really good meeting. I really like it to talk with them, and of course make progress with them. And also we have different experts like you that help us, like Martin, and we on our side in France we work since a long time with Olivier Lasserre. Mm-hmm. With our consultant on SendShare and integrator for Reworld Media, and now he's a silver partner with SendShare. So it's great also to have him on the project.
Mm-hmm. I would like to echo what you were saying about the atmosphere. I feel that as well, that we have a really good atmosphere, and that actually is also the next question, how would you describe the collaboration with Zenshare from your side?
Yes, as I said, I am very happy to meet. I am amazed, in fact, with how many expert people we can meet at Zenshare. I didn't know there was so many experts on different subjects. I think Peter Stroop also is very good to give us the good contacts. Of course, it takes a bit of time to connect and to identify the right person, and we can have many layers in Zenshare, but now we have all the contact we need, and we have a good idea at the very beginning of a new aspect of the project. When we conceive it, we have very fast the idea of the time it will take. So that's for me, it is the best moment in the project, because we know very fast how to do things and respect delays. That's a very interesting time.
Yeah, great. What using Zenshare, can you name some of the benefits that you are having? You already named quite a few, but maybe.
Yes, of course. We can connect from everywhere. From any computer with a good browser, if you are a writer, and if you are a graphic designer, you only need a really small installation, and you don't need to use the computer, the securized computer of the company. You can use your own computer. So that's very good. And of course, these days it's very important to have this agility of deployment. So that's the first point, very important. The speed of the software, the speed of the search. When you need to retrieve some data, it's very important to have that speed. Also, we know that we have good workflows now, very optimized, very simple to use. The check-in, check-out is pretty fast if you have a good link. And of course, we have this base platform that will help us to make a new project, and the content factory that will grow with the time. So we have a big potential here. We know we have no limit today with Zenshare. That's the good thing. Only a few difficulties that we have to solve, but we have the basics to go for a long time.
Yes, and we will get there together. So
yes, of course,
it's good. Yes. Okay, and that is actually the last thing that I would like to ask today. How, in terms of some plans for the mid and long term, is there something that you can share today?
Yes, so for the long term, of course, we have automatic layout. So that's very important for us. As you know, we need to cut costs and to have a shorter delay to produce of our magazine. So that's a very important aspect. If I can say 2 words about this project and the strategy, of course, it's not about making a whole magazine automatically, because it will be pretty boring. But we will focus on the pages that are not changing so much between the different issues, and the one that have a structure that can be defined in advance. And the other pages, they are free. Graphic designer will have all the space they need for their creativity and make each issue different and unique.
Yes.
So that's
yes. Just to say quickly, what you're basically referring to as automatic layout. Some people also call it content first. Just to give some context. That you start in the content editor in the with the XML and go from there then to the layout.
Yes, structured article first. It is the role of the editor or redactor that is changing. Is creating a structured article that you can see in the preview. You can have a preview to see his page in real time. And then when he has finished his article, that is that fits in the page. In that very moment, you have the article that fits in the page. And then in the end, you have the art director that takes the page that is 80% finished. And he would do some small adjustment about image placing, and that's it.
Yes.
So it will give them more time to produce over pages or over products, over magazines.
Yes. Yes, I like that approach. That's just something that I want to say, because in my experience, sometimes people or there's a tendency to start with too much in the content first approach. And I think that's a really good approach to say, okay, we start with a few pages that lend themselves to this approach because they're very structured anyway.
Yes. And automatization, is a whole approach because we have a second project that is starting with you also, Felix, and it's about automatization on pre-press part.
Yes.
So the graphic designer, in the end of the process, will generate the PDF file for the printer, and will be able to send it directly to the FTP server of the printer, and have visibility in the flat plan of all his page, and all the pre-press status also. So that's a very good improvement for us also.
Yes. I would say that's a key thing and the core thing of Zenshare, that, as you know, many publishers are using this. And content first is, I think, still a pioneer kind of a thing. And it's,
specifically in magazine now. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Great. So Mathieu, thank you so much for your time this morning. I just want to say to our audience, we will be available for further questions. If you have any questions, if you'd like to discuss with Mathieu, if you have any feedback or whatever you have in mind, we will be in the Meet the Expert area for the next 30 minutes. So do feel free to contact us there just to say hello or ask your questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Don't hesitate to ask a question.